Hi everyone. Wow, it's been so long since I've made a video. Greetings from Rio Branco, the capital of the state of Acre in Brazil, very close to the border with Bolivia and Peru. And yeah, I'm in a park here, the municipal park. It's so nice to be near some trees, listening to the birds, and just feeling the nature. We've spent quite a bit of time in the city and on airplanes and airports and driving. Well, we were on the road and had some time to visit some nature spots as well, but kind of like being on the move, it felt a bit difficult to relax, I guess, and focus and take space. I feel like it's the first day that I'm kind of like feeling a bit more grounded and landed, like not anxiously trying to figure out the future. So yeah, it feels like it's an opportunity to make a video, check in and say hi, and yeah, hope you're all doing okay. The energies recently feel like they've been so intense. I don't know, I don't think it's just me, because like wherever I'm listening or reading or hearing, at least via social media and via friends, it feels like there's a lot of intensity in the air. People are going through big things, and I personally have been having a really challenging, hard time for several months. You know, kind of like just like pushing through and like trying to believe and have faith in that I'm doing the right thing, going in the right direction. But it's not been easy, and as far as I'm like hearing, I'm not the only one that's kind of going through it. There are good days, there are really not so good days, and even on the good days there are really challenging moments. And really when it's challenging, I'm kind of finding myself in those challenging moments, it's like really hard to remember that you know that it's okay to be in the middle of that difficult thing, that there's a tendency for the mind to try to get out of it, try to figure out solutions, like how do I change my life so that I might feel more safe and better, which clearly, naturally is a kind of a natural response when one is not in a safe space, doesn't feel safe. And I feel like personally for me there's a lot of this kind of questioning of belief systems, like becoming aware, really more conscious and more aware of things that have been keeping me small, or that are not true, or are making me limited or judging. And then when those belief systems are kind of crumbling apart, it feels really threatening for other parts of the self that or the parts that have kind of like been holding on to those belief systems. So yeah, it's not easy to go through this process, and but then when one comes to those moments of clarity, it's like, oh yeah, I'm on the right way, it's okay, I'll be okay. And a really interesting thing that I'm noticing is very much when I don't feel safe, I often or when I'm feeling frustrated or confused, I might reach out to social media and listen to like podcasts of like, you know, people who speak inspiring things, high vibrational stuff, and they're and those usually get me to a higher space where I feel better, and regain my trust and my faith in my path and process. And then that vibrational difference, kind of like having that understanding, that consciousness, and then hanging out in a world where people just don't see things that way, that they just like the huge like contrasts and shifts in priorities. And yeah, I don't know, it's hard to put into words, but like for me, been like struggling here in Brazil, for example, like it's there's the like parts of me. I've realized how like the state of the world at the moment, that the situation that we're in, there's a part that wants to kind of like make things better, save the world, do things in a more eco-friendly way, and then there's something about Brazil, like with the way they eat meat, and they enjoy their life, but then a lot of the ways that they do enjoy their life is very consumeristic and not very ecological, as from the perspective that I was educated or that I worked in. That we need to be considerate of others, we don't throw trash around, and this kind of contrast and this discrepancy can be really heavy. I feel heavy. So I kind of went on a side tangent, but the parts of the self that are kind of trying to figure out how to survive and make do in this world, we're kind of like looking for these different something to hold on to, kind of like an identity, like a way of life. And then I noticed myself like, okay, trying to figure out like what's the best way to live, like what are the rules that I need to create for myself so that I can be happy, and it's so easy to get like, you know, if I see someone who looks happy or that has it together, and then like think that that's the solution, that's the way I should do it. Like, oh, okay, maybe I'll be happy if I work less, if I worry less, if I just go and hang out, like, you know, at the waterfalls and drink my beer and you know, just party a lot. Maybe I'll be happy then. Or then, you know, like it's so easy to get fixated and stuck on like, or link things together, which is not like, I'm realizing that the mind doesn't know how to do this thing of living life in a balanced and harmonious way. And another thing that's been really big for me at the moment is because I'm trying to create some kind of like sense of financial security by figuring out new ways using social media or artificial intelligence, creating online materials, you know, to kind of get some financial input, because life is what it is, and coming here to the jungle is like super expensive, at least for my budget at the moment. And there's this like inner pressure, like, oh, I have to work, I have to get things done, and then I'm on the road, there's not good really internet, and you know, moving around all the time. It's like there's never seems to be like the perfect right moment to do things, to move things forward. And one of my spiritual teachers said that if you want to get something done, then you have to that it's good to like work on it every single day. So I have my project of trying to get my songbook online, and I'm trying to do it. So I have this thing like, oh, I have to work on it at least for an hour every single day. And then when I don't manage to do that, I can like beat up myself for it. And that's also like another example for me, like, okay, it's better not to get, you know, not to compare to other people, and not to like be not having to do things a certain way. And there's a little... Oi, tu quer ver nisso olhar? Eu estou fazendo vídeo. Pode falar. Oi.
Oi.
Oi. Qual é teu nome?
Bussa.
Bussa. Gratidão, Bussa. Okay, so maybe I can continue now. I have him watching me like from a meter away. It makes me a bit uncomfortable and awkward, but I think I have to get used to this, because here when I'm with indigenous people, it's like there's never a private moment. There's always going to be kids watching what you're doing, people that are curious, and having to learn new ways of staying present and focused and grounded. And now he left. life, you know. So this is what trying to figure out how to work when being here. It's not so easy, and I'm also quite a sensitive person. I feel other people's energies, and I've often had like I'm learning how to work with boundaries, how to create space for myself so I can focus, because I get really easily distracted by other people's energies. And so yeah, I feel like this is the journey right now, is about like becoming more like clear on what our needs are, and creating boundaries and space for that, and prioritizing our own needs, because it's so easy to get distracted by all the things that, you know, others around us need, or the things that we think we should do or how we should do them. And I'm personally kind of like advocating for, like, you know, take what resonates and leave what doesn't, and that will change at any moment. You know, like today one thing works, tomorrow the next thing, the opposite works. And to it's so easy, like with this whole social media, artificial intelligence, things are changing and happening so fast that it's like like, you know, I have to keep up with it, I have to keep doing and pushing. And then like we're still like human beings, we have these bodies that are not like as fast yet. And it's important to like remember our naturalness, that we're part of nature, and to go slow and to not get fixed too much on rules, which is not easy when, like, with this increasingly monitored world, we have to keep reporting, you know. Like I'm also adding like receipts like all the time on the phone, like on every expense, and there's just a lot to keep track of. I think today is Sunday. Today is Sunday here in Brazil, and it feels so like refreshingly good to be somewhere where like almost all the shops are closed, the streets are deserted, even like all the restaurants are closed. Found a few that were open, managed to get some food. But I realized, like back in Finland where I live, that it's everything is open every day, and it's kind of like there comes this kind of sense of, there can become, if we're not, you know, owning our own time, this kind of like sense of like needing to be constantly on the move and doing something. Like I'm like, to be honest, like that's one of my, I don't know, maybe it's a strength and a weakness, but like I have a really hard time to like take a day off. I haven't probably, like, yeah, like when I'm supposed to be now with my accountant, you know, counting like what days am I working, which days am I not, you know, to calculate per diems and all of that. It's like, okay, I feel like I'm working every day, even just doing this video now. It's partly for myself, but I also feel like it's part of my work. So it's really hard to differentiate with this kind of time off and work time. And I feel like for me personally, I'm kind of living in this kind of reality and space where these things are merging. There's not so much separation between work and personal life. It's all my work. My personal life is my work, and but also remembering that the body needs rest. One can't be all the time like in this kind of work mode. So maybe it's also about what the intention and what energy we approach our work with. Like if it's that striving, pushing kind of energy, it just doesn't feel like, it feels stressful. Whereas doing this right now does not feel so stressful. And this is happening because I decided to take it easy. Nothing was happening. Took a nap, like after breakfast, and then I wasn't gonna come out. I was like, okay, I'll just, you know, I'm not feeling so good, I'll just hang around, take it easy, maybe I'll do some work on the computer. And then Roinu's Uber just kept delaying because it's Sunday and there's not many Uber drivers around. And then I was up and I was like, okay, well, it's Sunday, I might as well go out. And the Hunikun community here like to come spend a Sunday in the park. So we met up with a cousin of Ruainu's who we actually met for the first time last year, and I helped him out while he was going through a difficult situation. And he brought us here to the park. And on the way, we had a surprise encounter with one of the founders of Mapia, which is a Santo Daime kind of community in the forest, 9 hours travel from here. And he gave us like a big sermon. He like preached to us for an hour and sang Daime songs and presented his original hinarios that I've heard many times. And it's like, wow, it's like, you know, okay, this is what Sunday is about, is going and getting the spiritual teachings, you know, like wherever you are. And yeah, then we came here to the park and people are playing football and hanging out, and I thought, okay, just enjoy the day, be grateful that I came to nature, which is a big contrast to the place where we're like staying at the moment in Airbnb in the middle of concrete. So yeah, very happy to be able to take this moment to connect with you and share. You know, I keep, you know, part of me is constantly wanting to stay in touch and like share, and I have moments where I have like inspiring things that I want to share, and then I have this whole mental drama story about like what is okay to share, does it make sense, you know, is it good to share, you know, because I noticed that certain, you know, whatever one shares, it's like there's no truth to it. In one moment it's relevant, in the next moment it's not relevant, so it can be really difficult and like to share these videos, because it's like, you know, is it important what I have to say? Does it make sense? And but yeah, it's a mystery. Creative expression, God wanting to express itself, creation wanting to express itself, us needing to express ourselves, to like to be able to allow ourselves to be heard. So thank you for being part of this story of listening. I hope you found something to also support you on your journey, whatever you're going through. And we're in this together. Let's hang in there. Much love. Take care. Catch you later.